IPMNation.com.
My name is Rich.
This is Matt.
We are the Acoustic Bahgoostyx, and you're listening to Local Outbreak on IPM Nation.
Everybody, welcome to Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet and the IPMNation.com live station. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We are here at the studio at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia, where we do record the show each and every week. The studio, of course, thestudionh.com is a website if you want to check it out online. Funky little gift shop and art gallery. A lot of cool stuff here. Please support your local businesses in addition to, of course, local music. Very, very important. Of course, we're also sponsored by Central NH Events. If you need a DJ, go to centralnhevents.com. Tim Martin does a phenomenal job and will DJ your event for you. centralnhevents.com. And, of course, Tweak Sound and Mastering also is a sponsor. Matt Marcil does a great job. If you need a recording studio, he's located right in Concord, New Hampshire. Tweaksound.com is the website. And Matt is a big part of making this show possible. Not only is he a sponsor, but he also handles putting some of the finishing touches on the product that goes up online and, of course, on the air. And we have a returning guest tonight. We have the guys from Acoustic Bahgoostyx, and joining us for the opening segment is Rich and Buzz. How are you guys?
Hey, how's it going, Matt?
Very good. And this is kind of a world premiere, right, for the stuff we're going to be hearing tonight?
Yeah, this is a first.
Excellent. You got a new full-length disc, and what's it called?
It's called Bahgoostyx Music.
All right. And when did I have you guys on before? Was it like a year ago?
Last fall. It was the fall over a year ago. It was definitely over a year ago.
It was over a year ago. Okay. Yeah. See, that's why I can't remember any of your names.
That's cool.
Well, and there are 5 of you here. So
yeah, we added one. We brought our good friend Bob Stringer out of retirement. He was one of the original Acoustic Bahgoostyx.
Yeah, we were kind of talking off air about the band's been through a lot of changes and permutations. It sounds like. What does the name mean, by the way? I know I asked you this last time. But I don't
know
remember.
What? It started off an acoustic band. Bahgoostyx rhymes with acoustics, and we stuck with it.
So does the name? Does the word Bahgoostyx mean anything, or is it just a made up word? Oh, okay.
No. It's just
I didn't know if it was
Bahgoostyx,
some Native American thing or something. I don't know.
It's catchy, right?
It is.
We thought of having these long sticks for Bahgoostyx.
Right. There you go. We got to think about the merch. Yeah. That's where you make your money, is the merch, you know?
Yeah, the name was thought up probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Really? Wow.
When it first, I always like a band, Acoustic Bahgoostyx. That sounds cool.
Right.
I just always liked it. It's catchy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, why don't we let's play something from the new disc. What do you want to play to start the show?
First one will be Alligator Swamp.
All right. Is this? It sounds. I hear swamp and I think blues. Is it bluesy?
No, it's kind of a little more rocky than you're used to from us.
Okay.
Baden spends a lot of time in Florida in the swamps.
Yeah. All right, cool. So this is Alligator Swamp from Acoustic Bahgoostyx here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation.
Hey, Buzz, where you going? We're going dancing with the alligators.
Friday night, you're going, you're tired and I'm going downtown so you can unwind. People down was ice cold. Going Thompson, somebody to hold. The band is playing, and they're playing real high. They're playing a tune from ZZ Top. They love beer and sweet perfume. I wanna go dancing and I wanna go through. But I'm on. Well, you know what I want. Well, you know what I want. Hey, you know what I want. Yeah. Wanna go dancing at the alligator swamp. Wanna go dancing at the alligator swamp. Wanna go dancing. Wanna go dancing. Wanna go dancing at the alligator swamp. Wanna go dancing at the alligator swamp. Well, you put on your duds, it's a Friday night. You worked all week, you're stressed and uptight. Go downtown so you can unwind. People down there are friendly and kind. Smell of beer and sweet perfume. I wanna go dancing and I wanna go through. But I'm on. Well, you know what I want. 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 Wanna go dancing at the alligator swamp. Wanna go dancing at the alligator swamp. Wanna go dancing. Go dancing. Oh, wanna go dancing. Dancing.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here at the studio in downtown Laconia, chatting here with the guys from Acoustic Bahgoostyx. And Buzz is still with us, and this time we have Matt also joining us. And Matt, who else is in the band? Do you want to? I mean, hopefully we'll get to talk to everybody tonight. But do you want to just kind of mention everyone's name so we
it's
we don't leave anybody
you've heard
out?
from Rich already.
Yeah.
He's the rhythm guitarist. Buzzy is our bass player. I'm the lead guitarist, and we got Bongo Brucey over there. He plays the bongos for us and percussions.
Excellent. So the current version of the band, how long has that existed?
Few years now.
Seems like it's changed a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean we bring Stringer in, Bob Stringer. He comes in every now and then, and
Yeah.
when we started out, like Rich was saying, he was one of the original members, and we had to I don't know,
Forced him out of retirement.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it's. I would think too with the kind of music you guys do. Do you have some live shows where it's not necessarily everybody or different people coming in and out? Because with what you're doing, it seems like it's amenable to that. If you want to kind of switch it up.
Yeah, we've had a lot of shows where people come in, they'll sit in, play harp, and Stringer will play flute sometimes.
Yeah.
And sing for us, and we like to bring in different musicians and.
Yeah.
Play the type of music that we play. And, it's just all about having fun, really.
Yeah. And Rich had mentioned, if you want to expand a little bit about the making of the CD.
This one, we decided to try to give it a raw sound, more of what we sound live instead of studio sound.
Yeah.
And we did it all ourselves. It was all we sat down and we did a few takes, but most of it was done in one night, really. We practiced probably twice a week.
Yeah.
And so we knew the songs pretty well.
Right.
We knew what songs we wanted to put on there, and it pretty much did each one in one take.
Yeah.
And it was a good experience. So we had all our own recording equipment this time, and put a lot of work in staying up late trying to clean things up and make it better, make it radio quality and everything. So,
yeah. I think that can be a big challenge for a lot of bands is trying to capture in the studio that sort of that live energy and that rawness.
Yeah.
And actually, I think it's a credit to you guys that you recognize that, because I think, to be honest with you, a lot of bands struggle with that without realizing they're struggling with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We had a few other people try to record us, and what happens is it just kind of takes away the oomph, the pow in the face when you
yeah.
That live
one of those
sound.
nights where we record every time we practice.
Yeah.
And to help pick their songs apart and find out some new harmonies or this and that. And what it was one of those nights where we were just clicking together, and it just sounded really good. So let's put this on a CD and see what we can do with it. And Matt did some mixing to it and added a few things to it and cleaned it up pretty nice.
And it's really something we can be proud of. We're doing it ourselves, and
no
one else is. So
was there kind of a sense of afterward, like, this is we should have just done it this way all along?
Kinda, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you learn from that, So now next time, just
because it does, like you said, it feels so much better when it's live.
Mm-hmm.
You get the feeling of when you're doing the song. When you're doing it in the studio, you do, okay, now take 3, take 4, take 5.
right.
It just doesn't have that feeling of being live.
Yeah. I remember, this might sound like a tangent, but it's really not, when because I know how some bands do that, where they'll record things over and over and over, and it's it's typically major label bands that that have a ton of money, they've got the big advance or whatever, so they can afford the studio time to do it. But I remember reading about how the David Lee Roth version of Van Halen, when they would go into the studio, when they did their reunion disc with Roth,
right,
they would have to, because he struggles so much in the studio, they would record him over and over and over doing his vocals, and then the producer would go through and find, like, word by word the best take.
Yeah.
And obviously, the finished product was something they're all happy with, but then I forget who it was, if it was Eddie or Alex Van Halen, but one of them was lamenting that it kind of sucks the energy out of it a little bit when you do it that way, because you remove the spontaneity.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just way overproduced. Maybe the listener doesn't know it, but they know it, And
I also find it you can't really produce it live when you do it like that, when you're taking tracks and redoing things, and it just we're kind of a jam band a little bit, our songs never sound exactly the same each time you do it.
Sure. Which I would think, and see, I've never played in a band like that, but I would think that that can be an advantage.
Yeah.
Not only because, like we talked about earlier, you can have people kind of come in and out, but I would think it also keeps you from getting bored with the tunes.
Yeah.
Especially because you guys have a long history, so some of these tunes probably go back a long way. But if you can kind of change them up and be spontaneous with them, then you probably don't get bored with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you've got a crowd into the music, your inspiration and your adrenaline is pounding, and
Right.
Sounds good, and it's just you're moving and grooving with the crowd.
Right, exactly. So when you guys spontaneously kind of just in one night knocked this out, did you do anything to kind of put yourself in that mindset of being in front of a crowd? To kind of capture that energy,
or
was
just let it go? We just played. It was just that good feeling. Everybody was clicking together, and wow, we need to keep this. And
yeah.
Just one of those good nights.
That's great. Nice. That's great. The songs on the new disc, are they who writes them? Do you guys all write together, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
The first track that we heard, Alligator Swamp, that was collaboration between myself, Buzzy, Rich, everybody I came up with the lead riff.
Yeah.
Buzzy, I don't know, that something about alligators
It
popped into his head, and
it started out
it
as
just
being
went from there.
Yeah.
It started out as being like, in the Florida, kind of like a place in the Florida Everglades.
Yeah.
But then it ended up being a bar, sort of kind of like in the New Orleans area.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
Alligator Swamp is a bar that you want to go down there dancing and have a good time.
Right.
So that's what it ended up.
Yeah, that's cool. I would think, too, with the writing process, I mean, a lot of stuff probably just comes organically, like you're all practicing and you stumble across something. And
Yeah, exactly. I'll come in with the song that I wrote, and Richie will come in with the song that he wrote. Buzzy comes in, and it's just, part of it is just sitting down and, whatever comes out, comes out. And
right.
Hey, that sounds good. All right, let's make a song out of that.
Yeah.
Because the three of us have different styles of music that we play, then we put it all together, and it's got a nice blend.
Yeah, that's good. And it seems like y'all, you get along really well. There's
Very well,
there's no
yeah.
egos involved and whatnot. And I can sense that just being around you guys,
Yeah.
which is nice. I'm sure that makes it a lot more fun for all of you to,
Oh, yeah. These guys are like my best friends, and
yeah.
That's what we are. We're
great.
friends. It's more of it's not a job.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to getting together. When it turns into a job, the music's not as
not
fun
fun anymore.
Right. Well, if you make those Bahgoostyx, though, and you start,
Yeah.
making some money with that, it might turn into a job. You gotta have that merch.
Never
I'm
know.
telling you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, why don't we let's play another track from the new disc, which, by the way, I forget if we said the title before. It's Bahgoostyx Music. What do you guys want to play next?
Yeah, this one was written by Richie Bahgoostyx, and it's called Spring Dream.
All right, Spring Dream from Acoustic Bahgoostyx here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation.
It's a cold winter's breeze. Come on, it's a cold
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. This is Matt from IPM Nation here at the studio. Just want to remind everybody, of course, that the studio is located at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. Always very grateful to Melissa for inviting us to do the show here each and every week. And come down and check it out. It's right downtown. Very, very cool place. Come and buy some stuff. It's a great place if you need a gift for somebody. A lot of fun stuff here, and a lot of cool art on the wall too. And we are sitting here this week with we have the guys from Acoustic Bahgoostyx, and for this segment we're chatting with Bob and Bruce. And it's funny, guys. I wasn't able to do this with you because you all showed up. Usually when we have a band in, and not everyone is here, I encourage the members who are here to make fun of whoever didn't make it to the interview and make up some sort of humiliating story about them. But you guys, you all showed up, so you don't.
Well, we're all devoted.
But if you'd like to make up humiliating stories about the other guys who aren't in the segment, feel free. I'll just throw that out there and do it that way. You will. And so, Bob, you were you the original guy? It sounded like from what Rich was saying earlier. You were
well, actually, Rich and I did a lot of hiking together in the White Mountain area and other areas too. But
yeah,
in the beginning, we did a lot of hiking, and we went a lot of similar experiences we went through, especially in the wintertime, and the Whites gets pretty nasty up there.
Yeah,
some of the times that we have camped out or been in shelters. When the wind was blowing, it was very, very cold. You're looking at 20 and 30 below,
Yeah.
We would write songs. We'd think about things we were going through, and come up with something that was interesting and think about it. Candles flickering and, the wind howling and deep snow and such.
Wow.
And then we got back to the car in one piece and we'd take off and we'd be halfway home and get a cup of coffee or something and start thinking about, hey, did you see that? Do you remember that? How did that look? And then this would come back into some kind of a memory, and then eventually it would turn into a song, and then it would start small like most songs do, and then little by little, and then as my idea, Rich always wanted to sing and play, and so did Matt. That's before we met the other two. And then one thing led to another, and everyone put their own piece into it, and it come out the way it is now.
Yeah, yeah.
My idea was just to get them started because I'm a little bit older than most of them, and I figured, just get them on the right track and see what happens.
right.
And then they got to the point where, they thought it'd be better to have 4 people.
Yeah.
It'd be easier to fit into the different places and the venues and whatnot.
Sure.
And they developed a sound that was a little bit different than the sound we had before.
Okay.
And I like them.
Yeah, yeah. So you come in now and you just do some of the shows, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, some of the songs we wrote and did in the past, they'll still do.
Yeah.
So they'll need the flute, or they'll need some harmony. Mm-hmm. Or a little bit of rhythm in there.
Yeah.
And whatever I can do to help them, I will.
Yeah.
I'm always there for them,
Yeah.
And they work hard, they play hard, and they deserve whatever they get.
Did you and Rich ever write a song about what are we doing in the White Mountains when it's
we
30
did.
below?
Spring Dreams is
really, yeah.
We both. It was a long night and a very cold night.
Yeah.
We had a little candle flickering, and that's all the light there was.
Yeah.
And warmth, right?
And warmth. There wasn't much warmth involved in that. But we were just waiting for the daylight to come, and we were looking at the candle, and it was the only thing that was alive besides us.
Wow.
For until the sun come up. And that type of stuff's good memories, and we really enjoyed it. So that's kind of the way it happened.
I just admire your fortitude being able to do that. I wouldn't survive. I'm about the least outdoorsy human being you'll ever meet anyway, but the idea of being in the White Mountains in the cold, it's just like, wow.
Well, we had fun. We weren't as extreme as some, but it got to the point where we wanted to go up into Washington, Oregon area in there and stuff like that. Then you had to get technical. You had to know a little bit more than what we knew.
Sure.
And so that's about the time that things started happening. Our dogs started passing away, and some of the friends we hiked with, we just got married, and that was into them. So we kept doing as long as we could.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot of dogs.
Yeah, really?
But
Yeah.
we're still married, both of us, so
There you go. Well, that's
everything
good.
is cool.
That's good. And Bruce, how long have you been in the band? Are you
Going on 3 years.
3 years? Okay,
In
so
Ju-
are you the
June or
new guy?
July. Huh?
Are you the new guy then officially?
I'm the new guy, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, what do you play again?
I play the congas and basically just percussions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you bring a full drum set with you,
No,
or how does
not
that
at
work?
all.
Or you
This is
just,
just
no?
That's a
one of those things that we put together
You're
that
traveling-
works.
You're
Yeah,
traveling
no
light,
kidding.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to add a bass drum to it, but I think we're pretty good as we sit now.
Yeah. You kind of had a look on your face like, don't give them any ideas.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Should we tell
Prior
them-
to that, though, I
should
used
we-
to be in a band, and
Okay.
Richie saw us play and liked how I drummed.
Yeah.
And 15 years later, he sees me at Home Depot, and he says, "You want to be in a band?" And I'm thinking, not really.
Right.
But I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Works out good.
15 years later, huh?
Yeah.
I'll be
I used to
damned,
work with him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
He was my boss.
Yeah. It's funny how those chance encounters lead to all this
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It kind of makes it seem
And
like
a year
it's
went
meant to
by
be.
before I even heard from him again after seeing him at Home Depot.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I figured, he's not going to call. And all of a sudden he calls, and I screwed up, and it worked out.
Yeah.
We were arguing if we wanted a percussion player.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Do you play on all the songs live, or
I play all on the songs, yes. All of
yeah,
them.
yeah. So now, is it just percussion, or do you sing too?
I don't sing.
You don't sing?
No,
Yeah.
they won't give me that pleasure yet.
But so you were in a band before, though, where you played a full kit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this must be a relief then, huh?
Well, I mean...
Because the drummer
no.
always has the most stuff to
I
lug
still
around.
have quite a bit of gear.
Yeah.
It's just not a drum set that you would recognize as a drum set. It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to see it to believe it.
Really? Yeah. Why? How many?
Well, I've got 2 bongos, I got 2 congos,
Yeah.
congas, and I got a what are the drum? What is it called? Drum bay. Yes.
Okay.
You
Yep.
got a cowbell.
And I got a cowbell,
And a
and I
xylophone?
got
Yeah.
Snake
a,
rattle.
and I've got a ride and a splash, yep, and a hi-hat.
Oh, so you basically do play a full kit in
Well,
a
it's-
sense.
yeah.
I mean, it's got got
Yeah,
enough
but it's a
pieces for one,
different kind of kit.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Xylophone.
And a xylophone.
And a
Let's-
xylophone. Yeah. That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you work that into many of the tunes? Or
I do.
Do you?
yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
You will
yeah.
hear it. Yeah.
No kidding. Oh, very cool. Very cool. And then, so are you guys playing out a lot, or what's the
Right
show
now
schedule
we haven't
like?
played out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time we played was
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, nice.
last
Oh, that's
time we
right,
played was
yeah.
November. We played Shakas.
Yeah. So, is it going to be kind of a summertime? You guys probably do a lot of shows,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would think, right?
We're
yeah.
gonna start picking up. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of places around here do you play?
We played Jay's in Milford
Okay.
and Shakas. That's in Wilton.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
And
know
oh yeah, we did the Mayfest. Yes, twice.
Soul Music Festival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Folk Soul Music Festival.
It was a busy year. We did like 13 shows.
Yeah.
last year.
13 shows.
That's
Yeah.
the last time we've been here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Shows and started in April.
Okay. Yeah, because the kind of music you guys do, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of different kinds of places you can play, and
Yeah.
you could do big places or little coffee shops or whatever. I mean, you can kind of fit in any configuration, I would think. So that's good. I
Yeah.
mean, that's an advantage.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I've played in some bands where it was very limited as far as where we could play. Like if I was in a metal band, it's like no coffee shops or no Mayfest for us. But so, do you plan to record more, or are you just kind of taking it a step at a time? I mean, I know this
We're
is all
gonna
new
do
stuff.
some more
where-
recording, yes.
Yeah.
Especially after we heard how this stuff sounds.
Well, because I was thinking too, now that you can actually pull it off better, just kind of doing it almost spontaneously,
Right.
then maybe you can put out more stuff quicker. You know what I mean? Knowing that you don't have to go into a studio and go through all that stuff, if you can just play it,
Right.
and get a good sounding, energetic, spontaneous performance.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Most of the songs that we play, we have written.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have many songs we have written that we haven't put music to yet.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to kind of, what we've got now, what we're trying to just hang on to it. It seems like every time we play it different. It seems like
Right.
It just sounds different, but it's never really crazy different.
Yeah.
So we got some
from the
lyrics,
heart.
some songs
Yeah,
that are written
yeah.
that are really good. We want to work on those first, and then we don't know where we're going to go from there. We just have fun. That's the whole deal. Get out there, have fun, get people smiling and dancing, and having a good time. And
Yeah.
that's what we want to do. That's
Yeah.
the bottom line.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't we play another track? What do you guys want to play from the disc? Or Rich can tell us, what is it?
The song is Waiting.
Waiting?
Waiting, yeah.
All right, cool. So this is Waiting from Acoustic Bahgoostyx here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. This is Matt from IPM Nation, and we are here with Acoustic Bahgoostyx tonight as we cruise into our final segment. I do want to remind everybody, of course, that we are recording the show every week at the studio at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. TheStudioNH.com is the website. Also, don't forget we are sponsored by Tweak Sound and Mastering. If you need some recording done, go to tweaksound.com. Matt Marcil does a phenomenal job, and it's a big part of what makes this show possible. Tweak Sound and Mastering in Concord, New Hampshire. Also, if you need a DJ for your event, go to centralnhevents.com. Tim Martin will DJ your event for you and does a phenomenal job as well. CentralNHEvents.com. Tim is also a big part of what makes this show possible and has been for quite some time. And, of course, Local Outbreak is heard every Sunday night at 9 p.m., a new episode, and then replays every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on both 100.1 The Planet if you're in central New Hampshire, and, of course, our new IPMNation.com live station as well. And we do archive all the shows at IPMNation.com/Local Outbreak, going all the way back to the beginning. And as we finish up tonight, our final segment, we have Rich and Matt with us from Acoustic Bahgoostyx for this segment. And what you guys have a new Facebook page up we should tell people about so they can
we have our Facebook page up. It don't always get looked at and answered, but I'm sitting next to the person that
I had some computer problems for a while.
Oh, okay.
I'm always doing a post on there from my Facebook, my personal Facebook and stuff. It's there. And it's doing good.
We should tell people how to spell Bahgoostyx, so when they look for you online, they can find you.
Bahgoostyx. Okay. Acoustic Bahgoostyx.
The way I remember it's Bahgoostyx.
Yeah, B-A-H,
Bahgoostyx. Now, do you guys have any shows coming up in the near term?
Yeah, there's one we have April 18th in Candia. It's for military veteran dogs, and there's 3 or 4 bands there. The guy just contacted me. We have a little problem. Our lead guitarist will be in Florida.
Yeah, I'm going on vacation.
I'm going to take all the solos on harmonica, and Bob's going to have to step it up to the plate and sing a few more songs on this one.
Well, hey, like we were talking about earlier, sometimes people coming in and out, and it's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Bruce is a little weird about it, but I know we can pull it off. And then we have the Mayfest is coming up too again, and she contacted us. She wants us to do that. Shaka's Pub will make another appearance there every 4 or 5 months. We play there.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go back to Jay's Tavern. We've been trying to get into a few other places. Folk Soul Music Festival. We do a lot of the on the lawns. It's called the Monadnock Music Notes.
Okay.
And we started with Greenfield last year. This year, I think we're going to be doing a few more of those.
Good.
And we always have the Pleasant Lake Chicken Barbecue. This will be our 3rd year playing that. We've already secured that one. So the phone's ringing, and we're taking them as we can.
Good. Yeah, sounds like you guys are going to be really busy.
Yeah,
that's great.
Like I said, last year we did there's 13 or 14 shows since the last time we've been on this show.
Yeah.
And we pick and choose, and we like the pubs.
Yeah.
The pubs like us because we fill their rooms.
Right.
And, the cash register's ringing. People like the tunes, and, it's growing. And a lot of people are like, oh, Acoustic Bahgoostyx, what's going on here?
Right,
These guys are still crawling around for 3 years now. So that's where we are with that.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Good. Well, we're very happy to be world premiering these songs on the radio tonight. So
thank you very much.
Absolutely, and I would encourage people to do, because this is your second appearance on the show. So if people want to go back, like I said, we archive all the shows at IPMNation.com/Local Outbreak. If people want to check out the previous interview, and what are we going to play, Rich, to finish off tonight?
This song is a little different for us. It's called Mongoloid.
It's kind of experimental.
Yeah, it's it's experimental. It's different. It's kind of a true and fictional story of someone that I once knew, and we used to live underneath the bridge when I was a very young man.
You should say his name was Lloyd.
Yeah.
And you used to call him Mongo?
Yeah, his name was Lloyd. We used to call him Mongoloid, joking around as this crowd of kids that used to hang out at the bike path in Nashua.
Yeah,
and it's there's so many years ago, but this song evolved, and it's kind of fun. And it's different style of music for us, so it's kind of experimental, and we want we just assume play it on this show, and see how it goes, see how people like it. It's got a really neat, weird drum solo in there and percussions and some awkward sounds. I also debut my juice hop.
Yeah, nice.
Which is also in Alligator Swamp.
Yeah, Alligator Swamp. The juice hop is debuted too. That's a new instrument I found that I like playing.
Cool. Now, is Lloyd still around? Will he hear this potentially? Or
no, I don't think he will hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, he still lives out in the streets, and
oh wow, no kidding.
And it's kind of fictional. I haven't seen him in a few years, but
yeah. Well, you never know. You might hear it.
Yeah, he might.
So if you're listening, Lloyd, this is for you. All right. So, guys, thank you again. And
thank you.
We will leave you with this Mongoloid from Acoustic Bahgoostyx here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation.
Mongoloid, you were my friend, someone that I depend on.
SoundNation.com.